Hello again. In this video, we will learn the difference between finite and infinitive forms of verb. These are the different forms of the main verb, but mostly the term infinitive and finite confuse many English learners. So let us learn the difference between these two verb forms and how they are used. Finite, if I tell you the literal meaning of the word finite, means limited, restricted, and grammatically it is also used in that way. So, what is a finite verb? It acts as the main verb of a clause or a sentence. And what is the main verb? That shows activity, state, or existence. That is the main verb. And if the verb performs these actions, we will call it a finite verb. Secondly, shows the time. Time means tense of an action. The finite verb is the verb that shows the tense, means time of an action, state, or existence. Thirdly, finite verb changes to match the subject. That means if the subject is singular, we will change the finite verb accordingly. And if the subject is plural, the finite verb will be changed in that way. As he goes and they go. Goes we are using because the subject is singular in third person. And we are also going to discuss it through the sentences too. Let us see the examples I have written for you. The green words are finite verbs. He came late. Here came is the main verb of this sentence, so we will call it a finite verb. It shows an activity and is limited by the subject. It has a subject and it shows also tense. That's why we call it a finite verb. Secondly, she walked. Here the verb walk is limited by the subject. It means that it has a subject and it also shows past simple tense. So we will call it the finite verb. They walk. Here the verb walk is limited by the subject and it shows present tense. So we will call it a finite verb. Earlier I told you that it matches the subject. If the subject is singular, we will use the singular form of the finite verb. Like she speaks. I'm adding here s because the subject is the third person singular pronoun. They speak, not adding s. I'm matching it with the subject because subject is plural. We speak, not using s because with the plural subject we don't add s or es with the verb. So in a nutshell, the finite verb is the verb form that is the main verb. In the sentence, it is restricted by the subject. It shows tense and it matches the subject, singular or plural subject. But infinitive, if I tell you the literal meaning of the word infinitive, is not restricted, unlimited, not limited. And not limited by what? By subject, by the tense, or by the use of it in the tenses. So this is the actual literal meaning of the word infinitive, not limited, but it has also the same function in the grammar too. How does it work? The first point that we have to keep in mind, that no doubt infinitive is a verb, but it functions as a noun, as an adjective to qualify a noun, and as an adverb to qualify a verb, or to give additional information about the verb. So infinitive has these three actions in sentences. Number two, does not show tense, it is tenseless. The finite verb is tensed, it shows tense, and the infinitive is tenseless, it has no tense, it does not show any tense, and in all the tenses we can use it with finite verb. Number three is never changes regardless of subject. As here we are using she speaks, changing the main verb, finite verb, adding s, and we are removing s because we have to match it with the subject. This is not the case with the infinitive. Never changes regardless of the subject. Last point is often takes to, like to go, to speak. Often, not always. We have already talked about the different kinds of infinitive. If you are interested to know more about the kinds of infinitive, please watch my specific video on the kinds of infinitive. But here I have used often it takes to, which in grammar is called particle, not preposition. Let's see it, how it is used as a noun, as an adjective, and as an adverb in the sentence, and shows no tense. Like, I have a work to finish. Here work is a noun, and what I have to finish? This work. So to finish is used here as an adjective, and it is related to the word work, which is noun. So it tells us something more about the noun. So here the infinitive is used as an adjective. To err is human. Here to err is used as the name of an activity, means to make mistakes, making mistakes, to err. So here to err is used as the name of an action, so we will consider it as a noun. So here it is used as a noun and as a subject of the sentence. And we already know that no part of a speech can be the subject of the sentence except noun or pronoun. A verb can be used as a subject when it functions like a noun. Last example is, she is happy to see you. Here it is adverb, and it tells us as the reason of her happiness. Why is she happy? To see you. And we have already talked about, or we know, that the word which tells us something more about the verb is called adverb. So here infinitive used as an adjective, here as a noun, and in this sentence as adverb. So in a nutshell, infinitive is the form of the verb which is tenseless, not restricted by the subject, and it often takes to before it, and it is not used as a verb but as an adjective, noun, or adverb. I hope you learned the difference between the finite and infinitive verb. If there is still any confusion left, you can ask me in the comments. Until my next video, bye bye.